This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good-looking friends. This is going to be another one of those mind-blowing videos, so grab yourself a cozy beverage and a little snack, get comfortable, but before I forget, please do the kid a favor and hit that like button, as it really does help the channel gain visibility. Also, if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and do so, because I do drop these kind of videos now a little bit more frequently, so you don't want to miss out. Piggybacking off of my recent video exposing the Europe trip with Naki Pretty as being MEGAZI, I can comfortably say that Naki was a part of this grand manipulation and deceit. Without a doubt, based on the information dump that she gave of Meghan's childhood at the very beginning, immediately a day later after the engagement was announced, it now appears that she was making sure the narrative was set, portraying the bitter best friend who was so close to Meghan that she could have been her sister, no longer having any more contact, coldly ghosting her and icing her out. Upon reflection, was this pattern behavior of ghosting people a way to invoke fear into Harry, that Meghan could get up and leave Harry anytime she wants? I think that's quite possible. Back then, when we knew nothing about Meghan Markle, only what was forced in our faces, why would anyone have questioned Naki's story? In the beginning, from what I recall back then, was that she wasn't interested in doing any more interviews. She just wanted to get the so-called truth out there. It is my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, that Naki Pretty was one of Lady C's resources to write her book, or her first book. It makes total sense as to why Naki would speak to Lady C, is because she is credible in this community. She does have a big following, and I think the goal of that was to make sure that this construct of who this person named Meghan Markle is supposed to be established. But after uncovering this evidence of manipulation, why should we believe the story of Meghan Markle's friendship with Naki? Those that watched this MEGAZI video, you saw with your own eyes how AI was used to deceive the public. Not only have I uncovered and shown everyone Meghans Face morphing in the Europe video, but I also did show everyone that Meghans Face was morphing in her graduation from middle school video. For those that did not catch that video and are interested in seeing that, I'll go ahead and link that video in the description below. So now it's established that those home videos are fraudulent, and upon closer inspection, this video of Meghan and what's supposed to be Naki is also fraudulent. But before I show you the ways that they lied and manipulated this video, let me give some background and context for the people who are now coming in late to this saga or need a quick refresher. Literally 1 week after Meghan got engaged, this video drops, setting the stage for this rift between Meghan and her dad. Apparently, this was leaked by Naki Pretty, but there's no confirmation of such. It just says that Nikki is in this video. This video, obtained by The Sun, is about 8 minutes in length. Then, 4 days later, the Daily Mail now comes out with this exclusive of these home videos with Meghan and Naki in 1999. This video now is about 6 minutes in length, and like the rest of the world who were not paying attention, this video is also the same video with The Sun. What they had done was they had chopped up the video and included segments for The Sun and then included segments for Daily Mail to make it appear as if these were multiple videos that Meghan and Naki were shooting. Now, The Sun put a watermark all over their video, and I'm not sure if it's because they knew that this video was manipulated or just putting the watermark there so people would know where the video came from. But in any case, it does make it a little bit more difficult to spot the clear evidence of AI manipulation. However, the Daily Mail didn't put a watermark all over theirs, and that's where we're going to take a look and point out some of the, I want to say, manipulation. Kicking off the Daily Mail video is a quick clip with Naki. This is a clip that was not included in the Sun video.
This is Nikki. We've known each other since we were 2 years old. And 16 years.
Let me play that again.
This is Nikki. We've known each other since we were 2 years old. And 16 years.
So here at the very beginning, the manipulation has started immediately with it being very dark and the film very grainy. So let's look at this again, and I'm going to go ahead and lighten it a little bit. One detail that's very important to keep in mind is that NAKKI has a very prominent widow's peak, as you can see at the top of her head. Now watch this clip in slow motion. Pay attention to not only her face morphing, but also where is that darn widow's peak? Those that were naive in the beginning didn't think too much about Nanaki's face blipping around like that. Many of us attributed that to the age of the film. But now that we know that the other videos were manipulated with AI, we have a base on what to look for. So here with Naki, you can see same characteristics as well as knowing that that's not Naki. Not only with the face looking nothing like Naki, we're missing the widow's peak. You can see her forehead and the hairline morphing. What you need to catch next is what was said in the very beginning. Meghan kicks it off by saying, "This is Nikki. We've known each other since we were 2 years old." The person playing Nikki responds and says 16 years old. And what becomes clear is that Meghan's voice is really voiceover, and you can hear additional interference, noise crackling, to make it sound authentic. I'll play this clip twice so you can hear it.
This is Nikki. We've known each other since we were 2 years old. And 16 years. This is Nikki. We've known each other since we were 2 years old. And 16 years. We have lots of stuff to do today, so let me show you this little box. There's Meg and Nikki.
Now this part is also in the Sun video, and neither of the videos you can make out what's on that bulletin board. And, of course, that is by design. But what they do want you to focus on is seeing this friendship between Naki and Meghan, which obviously, looking at it now, has a deepfake filter on it. You see how Meghan's face is blurry, then all of a sudden it comes into focus, but Naki really doesn't look like Naki.
Here's mine. Classy girl on my plate holder. Yeah, the ex-boyfriend got that for me.
Notice that she's saying this all off camera, so there's a good chance that this is an AI voiceover. And I'm going to explain that justification in a little bit. Just hold that thought. Now let's move on to looking at Deepfake Meghan.
We're going to go to Melrose
right now.
and get some pants for college. And right now we're in Beverly Hills, and we're gonna pass the Beverly Hilton Hotel, where I'll be on Sunday meeting the other Northwestern people. And what else are we doing? Oh, I have an audition today. That's for a music video. Shakira music video. So we'll play that song later on because it's kind of crazy.
Now, for whatever reason, the Daily Mail cuts the clip here, but the clip doesn't end here because in the Sun version...
Oh my God, Meg, it's still recording. And right now we're in Beverly Hills, and we're gonna pass the Beverly Hilton Hotel, where I'll be on Sunday meeting the other Northwestern people. And what else are we doing? Oh, I have an audition today. That's for a music video. Shakira music video. So we'll play that song later on because it's kind of crazy. And we'll see how that goes. Then Nikki has to pick up dry cleaning, and we're gonna go to Nikki's mom's house. And right now I'm gonna get gas. Okay. Oh, good, and I can get a free calling card.
So you heard here the rundown of the day. After this audition, then Nikki is going to go pick up her dry cleaning, and then they're going to go to Nikki's mom's. And another important detail to notice about this Sun version is that you can't tell or make out any of the gas prices. Normally, in a gas station, you would see that from a far way. Even up at the pump, you can see they've clearly blurred it out, which means that they don't want you to see the cost of gas in order to estimate when this was filmed. But going back to the Daily Mail clearer version, I went ahead and lightened it a little bit for us to look at Meghans face. Now, this is a very good deepfake, but you can still tell if you look close enough around where her ears are, as well as you can see some of the digitization. There are other better examples that I'll show you in a bit, but I just want you to get accustomed to seeing Meghans face because you'll see a difference in a second. I'm guessing that the person that they used for Meghan had similar features, hence the reason why it looks so realistic. You're going to see glimpses of where the real person comes through, such as this instance right here. You can start to see where Megan's face collapses as she turns her head. And at this point right here is where I believe is what the real person looks like. I'm willing to bet, though, that there are a few of you who are not convinced that this video is AI, so let me give you a hard example. So earlier in this video, I had mentioned that I thought the voice that we heard in the parking lot when Meghan was commenting on the classy girl vanity plate, I had mentioned that I thought it was an AI voiceover. And the reason why I say that is because in the Sun version, and it's only in the Sun version where there is a small segment of that 8-minute video where you see a timestamp, or as you can see at the bottom right corner, what it would look like to be the timestamp of when the video was taken. For whatever reason, the rest of these videos don't have that. And if we are to believe that this is a day in the life of Meghan Markle in 1999, then the entire video should have had this clock and timestamp on it, which now exposes what's real and what's not. The one with this timestamp and clock is the real video footage. Check it out.
Length skirt, and I got a little gray pinstripe tube top. Those are my good fall colors.
Yeah. She just got her lips done. Can you tell?
Yeah, you can tell. You can see the collagen in her.
It's no accident that this is so dark, because there are things that they don't want you to see or notice. So I'm going to go ahead and lighten this up a bit so you can see what's going on.
Length skirt, and I got a little gray pinstripe tube top. Those are my good fall colors.
Yeah. She just got her lips done. Can you tell?
Yeah, you can tell.
The huge difference with this video is not only the conversation is very materialistic and superficial, but you see different features that belong to Meghan in her earlier days. Her wide nose, and she just sounds really trampy and easy. I mean, in this small window of video, she talks about Fredericks of Hollywood and the lingerie in there. I mean, you're 17 years old. What do you know about Fredericks of Hollywood slut clothing? Well, I think we all know. Anyway, the thing that gives this all away is Meghans Clothes as well as her hair. Well, you might be asking, well, how do you differentiate the real video versus the deepfake video? Well, in the real video here, Meghan's hair is a lot longer. And in the conversation that is happening in the car, Meghan talks about the Tori Amos 1000 Oceans video that she just did. So when you go and look at that video, you can see Meghan's hair is a lot longer than what's in the deepfake video. No doubt, when Meghan straightened her hair, it naturally is longer. You can see the length in this screenshot, how long her hair is actually past her shoulders. As far as the clothing, Meghan is wearing a different top in the deepfake. Here's the comparison. So the bottom photo, as you can see, is the MEGAZI, the tank that the person is wearing who is playing Rachel, Meghan Markle, is a lot broader than the tank that is in the timestamp video, which does appear to be the actual footage from back in the day. Another missing item that we have here is the cross around Satan's neck in the top photo. So now that you see this and understand that we are working with deepfakes, let's take a look at NAKKI filming outside, because she is caught in the mirror, and what do you know? It's not NAKKI. I think the thing that's really troubling to me is the narrative and storyline for Meghan from the very beginning was involving not inviting her father to the wedding and having this rift between her and her dad. I mean, this began instantaneously as this played out. And the fact that Meghan and NAKKI, who is part of this, had this ready 1 week after Meghan had gotten engaged makes you wonder how much orchestration and thought did they put around the whole narrative around every person that was going to play a part in this saga.
That's the kitty.
These are my cats. This is Bella and Maria. And we have to go in the house now. Okay?
So in this clip, they arrive at what we're supposed to assume is where Doria lives, and Meghan's living there as well. I don't know if you remember back in 2018 when Thomas Markle did his documentary, there was a bit of contradiction to where Thomas Markle had said that his daughter had lived with him till she went off to college. But the documentary had contradicted that because of this scene in which they go into this mess of a room to where the person who is playing Meg is saying, it's a mess and they're getting ready to move, but doesn't say where they're moving to. We're supposed to assume that she's moving to college.
Meg's mom is licensed.
You can see here in the Sun's version of their video, they showcase Doria's car, the Volvo, where it says Meg and me in the back. But you got to wonder, how real is that? Because when they go up into this so-called duplex or apartment, Doria's not there. The other thing that I want to point out here is that in the beginning, Meghan had listed off all the things that they were going to be doing, and after the audition, they were going to go pick up Nakki's dry cleaning. Why does Meghan have dry cleaning in her hand? Just asking. I almost wonder, could this be Nikki's mom's place, and they staged it to make it look like Meghan was living there?
No. No, okay, I'm getting ready to move, so my room is just a mess, and, all right,
Here's Meg.
here's Meg, and we're gonna go into the kitchen and get a chocolate croissant, and then we're gonna leave because we have so much to do, and I hope you're not showing some of those god-awful pictures.
And there you go, folks. When you're lying, you add more detail than you really need to add. Like, here's the thing. Naki is going around this room and filming these pictures. Why? Why is she going around focusing on Meghan's life and friends? Now, here's a part of the video that was included in the Sun video, but for some reason taken out of the Daily Mail video.
And that's all.
Couple things to immediately notice here is that Meghan's hair is shorter than what it should actually be, and then Meghan's other mole starts to make a cameo appearance and then disappears. So now when they go into the kitchen and the girl who is playing Meghan starts to go over the photos on the fridge, you have to wonder, based off of seeing all the photos that have been edited and photoshopped, could this also be another deepfake? I mean, we're looking at all these photos and they're teeing it up to make it look like Meghan has this close relationship with her mom.
Mom and I, mother-daughter lunch, and there's little Meg. My mom and I for the Bank of America Awards. It's my friend Mia. Friends, this was in the school newspaper, my dad and I. Little Meg.
Oh.
With long legs.
So you notice there's no pictures of a whole family and also setting the stage of being an only child. There's so much in these videos that we could look at. So allow me to highlight one or two more things to show you that this is indeed a deepfake video, and then we can talk about why.
In a few minutes, we're going to go to the audition, and that's pretty much all we have planned for today. And then we're going to go shopping afterwards, and we're also going to Nikki's house. So I'm going to drive now.
So again, what we are looking at is not Meghan, and how we know when you look in the slowed down version, at one point, Meghan's ear sparks. You really just can't make this up. And you can go through this video if you'd like. I mean, there's so many of these examples that you can see for yourself. What's really sick about this woman is that you can tell that she used an older image of herself with the plastic surgery to make herself look prettier when she was a teenager. I think we can all understand now why Meghan looks so different in various photos while she was growing up. I mean, it's the craziest thing to know that this woman, or whoever this person is, had superimposed her head onto other faces. I mean, the photoshopping and editing that we have uncovered is like insane to me. And here you have also using AI to manipulate and show the public something that is not real. Now, the last video that I'm going to show you of this deepfake insanity is from the Sun's video, and now it makes sense as to why there's watermarks all over it. And that's because you can see how obvious this is not Meghan. Her face morphs into, I don't know, it looks like a black woman, maybe to give off the extra urban vibe. I don't know. But you can see that Meghan's body is a lot more curvier and her hair is so short. Like, look at the ponytail on the left versus the right. This is supposed to be the same day that these two had been out and about, and now they're back, and Meghan's trying on the clothes that she bought to go to Timu Northwestern. When you look at these two shots in the two frames where the actual real person pops out, that's not Meghan. So the question is why? Why did Naki Pretty play this huge role in suckering the whole entire world into thinking that Meghan was one thing when she's none of it? When we look back at the time when all of this was going on, Naki Pretty had locked her social media. I believe just Instagram and Facebook. She was not on Twitter at the time. So nobody was able to see any more information about her and Meghan, and what we had was what we had. Well. So in March of 2022, Naki Pretty comes up quietly on Twitter. So Naki doesn't post very often, but the things that she reposts are, in my opinion, eye-opening. You know, when I look at this profile and I see what is listed there, I find it alarming. As it says, RCST, researching spatial cognition and memory retrieval. Recollections may vary. You know who she's talking about. But before I continue any further, I ask you kindly, do not harass her on X. I'm just making observations. In looking at some of the things that she has reposted, like this one, high correlation between the isolation someone feels and the amount of people they inspire. Work that changes the world has to be your entire world. Legends are lonelier than most. Naki helped Meghan carry out the biggest con job. And when you look at these posts like this one, if you think memory is unreliable, wait until you hear about perception. Does this not feel like Naki is not really out of Meghan's life and could be psychologically manipulating Prince Harry? You know, the first thing that's coming to my head right now is if this is connected to a 3-letter agency, does anybody know what MK Ultra is? I'm feeling those vibes at this moment. Now, looking at some of these reposts and direct posts, it does seem like there is an interest in supporting psychedelics to treat mental illness. Given the fact that Naki has been a part of this con job, and then looking over these posts or reposts that she's making concerning certain topics around perception and tapping into memories and consciousness, I certainly don't get the feeling that Meghan and Naki don't talk anymore. Could this be season 2 for Meghan and archetypes by integrating astrology? I don't know. I find it ironic that she has this posted. And what's interesting, when you look at the people that Naki follows on X, Angela Levin, the body language guy. We've got the founder of Midjourney, you know, all those AI photos. Michelle Hussein, you know, the one that did the interview with Meghan and Harry for their engagement. Lizzie Cundy, Rhiannon Mills. Carolyn Durand, you know, the other half of that Finding Freedom Life Fest. Vanessa Grigoriadis, you know, she was on Andrew Gold's podcast. Kinsey Schofield, Popcorn Planet. We have According to Taz. This is a very interesting group of people to follow when you only have a little over 100 people that you are watching. You know what I mean? Nanaki's most recent post from August 13th is from a dystopian science fiction Western television series called Westworld. As it says here, your memories are the last step to consciousness. How can you learn from your mistakes if you can't remember them? So what is she trying to say there? Remember when Harry said that he wasn't able to cry when his mom died and, you know, being able to break down that wall by going into therapy and using these hallucinogenics? Also, remember, He didn't know that there was this unconscious bias until Meghan made him aware of this unconscious bias and generational trauma. Could this be the influence of Naki Pretty? I mean, when you think about it, look at how Meghan has conditioned Harry with just certain touches, whether it be on the back or on the leg. Harry then subconsciously behaves in a certain way, shows that Meghan is in control. So I'm wondering, has she tapped into his psyche subconsciously to make him do whatever she wants him to do? What I find really alarming is that these two have a clear focus on mental health and going after the youth. So, with all this mind control that we see with Hollywood and learning about Naki and how she played a role in the biggest con of the century, I mean, you witnessed it just like I did. And 6 years later, we're now discovering that there were photos and that there were videos that all had been manipulated. I don't doubt for a second that in some of those videos, most likely have subliminal messaging in it. In fact, I did find a piece, but I'm not going to share it because I don't want to get the, oh, you're in conspiracy theory land. But you go check it out. You see if you find something in there. I wouldn't put it past these people, considering the lengths that they went through to fool the world. And I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface on this one because there is a whole cast of characters that have been a part of this con job that these two have pulled off. Birds of a feather definitely flock together, so I don't think I necessarily believe anymore that Naki no longer talks to Meghan. In fact, I think she has been an integral part for the last 6 years. And the whole point of throwing everybody off by letting everyone think that she is the bitter ex-friend made us forget about her. And it absolutely worked. Everybody bought into this sham of a wedding and sham of a marriage. Oh, I definitely could see Meghan being a Satanist, hands down. That's why she's always creeping around children. When you look at California, they're filled with them. And Harry is surrounded by all these vultures that probably subconsciously try to tap into his psyche. No wonder why he's off the rails here in the United States. I mean, I'm not saying that he gets an excuse or a pass, but if there is someone who is psychologically manipulating him, we know Meghan is to a certain extent, but someone like Naki Pretty who is practicing this kind of stuff, I think, that's a real danger I see, especially if they are tied to a certain 3-letter agency, which is what my gut is telling me. And these are just my thoughts and opinions based on what these people have put out there in the public domain. I don't have any inside access to intelligence that tells me that they are part of some agency. I'm just making that assumption because how much more weird can we get with these two, particularly around the lying, as well as everything that this woman went through in order to con the world about who she is. And after seeing all of this, can you honestly say that you know who this woman is? No. It begs the question, how much did Harry know about the deceit and manipulation that was shown to the entire world? And the thing that's so bizarre about all of this is that uncovering all of this, nobody else wants to touch it or talk about it. I mean, this is facts in your face. Or is it going to come down to once we see a newspaper, then report it, then everybody is going to flood the internet with it? Anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But it is very frustrating because here is the chance to expose this woman and get people talking to then, see whatever justice needs to come down to this woman. But nothing's happening. Why? It reminds me of part of this speech that Barack Obama gave at the Stanford Cybersecurity Center. Let's not forget that Harry and Meghan had been aligned with Stanford.
You just have to flood a country's public square with enough raw sewage. You just have to raise enough questions, spread enough dirt, plant enough conspiracy theorizing that citizens no longer know what to believe. Once they lose trust in their leaders, in mainstream media, in political institutions, in each other, in the possibility of truth.
You don't need mainstream media to tell you how you should think or what you should do or how you should feel. I think by now, after looking at what this couple has done, I think all of us can agree that the media cannot be trusted, particularly around what is going on between these two. I think what angers me the most about all of this is why did everybody who was involved with this feel that it was okay to manipulate and lie to the world about this and pretend as if they've done nothing wrong? 20 years ago, this would be seen as crazy and they would be locked up in an institution. Anyhow, I'm not going to continue to keep ranting about it because we all know that it's beyond mental and at the point of where it's just plain evil that is walking this earth. And finally, to close out this video, I just want to bring up a point that came up many times over in my comment section the other day on the first MEGAZI video surrounding Europe. At the end of the video, I did put this analysis of the Queen with baby Archie up and said that I didn't see any type of irregularity in the photo using the tool. A lot of you were pretty firm in your position, stating that this photo was definitely photoshopped based on the fact the Queen was wearing the same exact outfit at a horse show back in 2018. My position is that I'm simply reading the tool as I see it, and I don't see anything that's alarming. Also, I never looked into this situation on whether or not this photo was photoshopped. What is a little insane to me are those that think that just because I read the tool not in the direction that they expect it or want it to go, then somehow I'm colluding with the royal family in covering this up. I don't have any evidence to say that they are covering anything up, but to jump to that conclusion so quickly, to me, I find surprising, but also a little mental. But whatever, I took some time today to look into it and consider all possibilities because you know what? Getty has accepted photos from Meghan that had been photoshopped. So who's to say that this is any different, right? So I see that side of the coin here because even though Getty says that they don't allow photos to be altered when they're uploaded, we know that they allow it because Meghan Markle does it all the time. So it is worth looking at it and trying to put it to rest. So a couple of things that I see online. First is this. A lot of people are saying that the Queen wore the same clothes back in May 2018 on the 8th, of which she's wearing the blue cardigan and the white shirt. She's also wearing glasses there. In the photo in 2019, she's not wearing the glasses. And on top of it, we don't see what skirt she's wearing. So I went and I found the skirt for it. It's not the same skirt, different plaids. So go ahead and cross 2018 off. So we go ahead and find this outfit in 2016. And as I go through all the photos, there is not one photo of the Queen without the covering for her head or her glasses. So what I've learned here in looking through all the years of this Windsor horse show is that every year the Queen wears a set staple of skirts and this blue cardigan with a white button-up shirt, and then various jackets. She wore this skirt with a different color headscarf that matched her shirt, which was a pink. So you see that she was wearing blue, so she wore a blue headscarf to match. So it just so happens that the year that Archie was born and took this photo to meet the Queen, it rained all day. And at the horse show, as you can see, the Queen is pretty much covered from head to toe. But what you see is this blue scarf. Now follow me. There are no photos of the Queen with this outfit per se out at this horse show in 2019. But I can tell you this. The chances of her wearing that outfit are pretty high because if you look through these photos, there is one photo that gives away the plaid print that the Queen was wearing in the photo with Archie. And this is the one because if you scroll down to that little opening at the bottom, you will see that there's the print. So using a little bit of logic and rational thinking, as the Queen is wearing a blue headscarf, most likely underneath that raincoat, she's wearing a blue cardigan that most likely matches the blue cardigan that was worn when this picture was taken with baby Archie. The other thing I'd like to point out is that the Queen's hair is very flat. If she was out in the rain covered up like this, then that would be a good reason as to why her hair is flat, because it did rain that day. And then finally, in this photo, she's not wearing her glasses, as opposed to the previous years where she had worn this outfit, she had her glasses on the whole entire time. So I'm pretty comfortable in saying that the Queen was there to meet her newest great-grandchild. Whether or not Meghan presented the Queen with a reborn of Darren, or if that was indeed a real baby, I don't know. I can't confirm that. So now the question is, was Philip there? And my gut feeling is that, yeah, he also was there. But I am aware that he wore the same jacket and tie back in 2014, seen here. Being that the photo on the right was 5 years earlier, it does have an appearance of being younger. In addition, Philip on the left is wearing a hearing aid. So this photo, taken in 2018, shows the dark circles under his eyes as well as the hearing aid. In addition, you see the liver spots on the top of his forehead, more so than back in 2014. So in my opinion, I do believe that this is Prince Phillip. In addition, he does look more closer to the picture here in 2018 than he did back in 2014. And to add one last point here is that when you look at Prince Philip's face, you can see that it's lighter around the eye area, and that works out because of those dark circles. So naturally, the inverse would come out. The only thing that I am challenged with is the brightness of Prince Philip's jacket. So as you can see, everybody else around is fairly dark. I would have thought that the coloring of his jacket is similar to Prince Harry's jacket, which would have been a little bit more on the darker side. But being that it popped like this, that's the only thing that really caught my attention. But everything else, to me, I can't tell anything that's out of the ordinary of it being Photoshop. Hopefully this helped out a little bit, but you can't be 100% sure because Meghan has lied on practically everything. So you never know with this woman what she has up her sleeves. But that's my 2 cents on this. But what do you guys think? What do you think about Naki Pretty? What do you think about Harry being MK? Let me know your thoughts below in the comment section, but as always, I will be back with more content, but until then, please be safe and I'll talk to you later. Bye!
I was such a fraud.